Okay, so
No!
listen carefully. Those of you that are not exempt from the final, instead of giving you a comprehensive final, which covers everything back to January, the geometry team decided to give you simply a unit test so that you have less to study. And the unit test, we decided to make it the last unit, which is our volume unit, so that it's very simple, straightforward. You have to be able to recognize what shape is in front of you so that you know which formula to use, and then you plug in the information. The tricks that might be involved would be if it gives you the diameter instead of the radius, or if it gives you when we get to prisms, recognizing what type of prism it is, because there's different types. So that's where you have to actually put a little thought in before you just run with the numbers in front of you. We have a couple of notes to take, and then what we're going to cover right now is, since it's just the first day of it, this is what we're doing today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. These are daily grades, so those of you that are exempt from the final, these are still daily grades, okay? Oh. Did you see that?
I don't see that.
Sorry. I'm just going to put lipstick on. Anyways, we're going to do just today, we're going to do just sphere and rectangular prisms and cones because they are the easiest type. So first let's talk about what is volume. Volume of a figure is the amount needed to fill it in. The amount needed to fill it in. So imagine if you have like a 3-liter of Sprite. The volume would be how much Sprite it actually has inside of it. Okay? Alright. We have 3 shapes here. Look at these 3 shapes. I'll give you one guess as to which one's the sphere. The sphere would be this last one right here. And if you look, you will see the formula for the volume of a sphere. 4/3 pi r cubed. Okay, first of all, remember that r runs from the center to the edge, right? If I gave you the diameter, you would cut it in half to get the radius. Yep. So let's make a couple of notes here. The diameter is 2 times the radius. That's the relationship. So if I gave you the diameter, you would divide it by 2 to get r. Also, in the calculator, here's how you would type it in. It's 4 divide 3. To find the pi button, you have to hit second. And then notice it's like the rooftop. Look above the rooftop, the caret button. There's the pi symbol. So second, and then I'm going to type pi, but it's that caret button. Then you would type whatever r is. Then you would push the actual caret button to tell it to cube it. So let's run to an example and practice that real quick. I'm going to scroll down to number 3. Check in number 3. Do they give me the radius or the diameter?
Radius.
That is the radius, which means I can go straight to the formula 4/3 pi r cubed. So it's going to be 4/3 pi 6 cubed. 4 divide 3, second caret to pull up the pi. The radius is 6. push the caret button to tell it to boost whatever number comes next to the exponent's place. I don't remember what the directions say about rounding. Yeah, let's go to the nearest tenth on all of them.
904.
So 904.8. And this is yards, which means it would be yards. Now, we just measured volume. Volume is how many dimensions? 3. So it'd be yards cubed. What do you think? Sphere is the easiest one. The only problem you have to watch is if they give you the diameter, you need to cut that in half before you type it into the formula, okay? The next easiest one would be the cylinder. We'll scroll back up here to the top. Let me show you something. You don't have to write this. All right, we got prisms and pyramids. Do you know the difference between the two? Every one of you knows what the Egyptian pyramids look like, right?
Yes.
Okay, so everyone should know that one type of pyramid would be like the ones that you have studied in ancient Egypt. Not ancient, but the Egyptian pyramid, right?
Mhm.
Okay. There's another type of pyramid. What do you think it's called? It's called a cone. A cone is a circular pyramid, but no one calls it a circular pyramid because it's a cone. Okay. Prism is just a rectangular prism, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What about this one?
So,
That is a cylinder, which is a circular prism, but no one calls it that. We call it a cylinder. Okay, so the moral of the story. The story is,
third of the same.
first of all, prisms, this is how I remember it. Prisms have two bases. And those bases are the exact same shape opposite of each other. Alright? Pyramids have only one base. Just one, because they come to a point. Which you all know that because you've studied pyramids in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
So you should never get a pyramid confused with a prism, because don't forget what the Egyptian pyramids look like. They come to a point. Prisms have two bases, and they are the same shape. They're identical, and they're opposite of each other. Pyramids have one base. You name the shape by the base. So if I was to have, now this is going to be some serious artistic abilities. Oh my. Sorry. So
My fingers are everywhere.
look at that. That is a triangular prism.
Look away with those.
Because look at the base. The base is a right triangle. You see it? And then they're opposite of each other. Okay? You with me? Alright. What I want to do now is look at the cylinder. The cylinder is a circular prism. You have your two bases. Notice this has an R right here, and this says H for height. Then notice that there is a capital B right here. The
Base.
capital B in the formulas refers to the area of the base. This is really important. It refers to the area of the base. Okay, so if we have a cylinder, we have a circular base. The area of a circle is pi r squared. The formula for the volume of any given prism is area of the base times the height of the prism. So if it's a cylinder, the volume would be pi r squared times the height. If it's a cylinder, the volume is pi r squared times the height. If it's a rectangular prism, the base is a rectangle. The formula of a rectangle for the area is length times width, and then it would be times the height. But you know this one. You've heard this before. Yep. Yep. All right, now what we're going to do is run with these three formulas. It would be wise to recognize the shape, then go back and do the formulas. So let's do this as a group. Number one, what's the shape?
Rectangular.
It's a rectangular prism. Number two, what's the shape?
Cylinder.
It's a cylinder. Number three, you
Cylinder.
already did it, but I'm going to write it. It's a sphere. Number four,
Cylinder.
it's a cylinder. What's the trick?
Sideways.
No,
Laid over.
bigger trick.
Triangle.
What? Diameter. Thank you. The trick is right here is the diameter. We don't want the diameter, we want the radius. So you'll have to fill that in. Number five, what's the shape? Cylinder. Once again, what's the trick?
Diameter.
That's the diameter. You don't want that. You want the what?
Radius.
Radius. Number six, what's the shape?
Cylinder.
Good grief, I gave you too many. What's the trick?
Diameter.
14 is the diameter, so you need to find the radius. What's 7?
Rectangular.
Rectangular prism.
Prism.
What's 8?
Sphere.
What's the trick?
Diameter.
Diameter. You don't want the diameter. You want the radius. 9,
Prism.
10,
Sphere.
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 11,
Sphere.
12.
Cylinder.
Is there a trick in 12?
Diameter.
Is there a trick in 11?
Diameter.
When it's pointing to the middle and it has the whole thing drawn, that's how you know that it's saying, hey, this is the diameter. 13, 14.
Triangle.
What? I want you to do this worksheet. It is a daily grade. You will round to the nearest 10th on all of them. And I don't foresee you having any trouble, but should you come to any trouble, then please ask me for help. This is all that separates you from being able to relax for the rest of class. When you're doing the rectangular prisms, sometimes it can be tricky when they label like too many of the sides, because you only need 3. You need the length, the width, and the height. Let me show you with my highlighter The length and the width, look at this. You have to have some spatial awareness. The length and the width should trace the bottom of the box.
Okay.
And then the height should shoot up, bringing you to the top of the box. Okay? So that's how you know what three numbers you need. It should be the edge, the two edges of the base, and then the height should be taking you to the top of the box. All right?